Uh, Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Build with KPL podcast. On this podcast, we build tech businesses and cities, hosted by yours truly, KPL Signo. For this episode, we'll be talking to Ernie, Daniel Vincent, about sober rides. And we'll just kind of interview him about his idea and how he came up about it, how he sees it being a business, what's his strategies, and yeah, and how to make it into an 8, 9, 10 figure business. All right, Ernie, would you like to introduce yourself?
How's it going, guys? Daniel Vincent. Ernie is my nickname for my family. I've known Kepler for a very long time. I study management information systems, and I'll be graduating soon.
Awesome. And where are you graduating from? So let the people know.
So, Western Connecticut State University. It's a university located in Danbury, Connecticut.
Okay, you're in Connecticut. Nice. One of the richest states in the US, right?
Right.
Awesome. So one of the first questions is why did you come up with sober rides?
Well, I used to actually go out a lot when I attended the University of Connecticut, and I saw that there was a problem. People were posting on the Yukon Buy and Sell Facebook page, which is basically a generalized page where people can post anything, any type of asset or anything of value that you want to trade or buy and sell. It could be used for plenty of things. So I thought that the page was a little bit diluted, and I thought that Sober Rides was a great idea, since people were offering $2 to $3 rides to take students from point A to point B near campus. And I thought about, hey, somebody has to centralize this. This could be a great idea and make a lot of money.
Okay. Did you ever end up using that service yourself?
Unfortunately, no, I did not end up using the service myself. On the buy and sell Facebook page, yes, but on the app, no.
Okay, so on the Facebook page, and how was that experience?
The experience was good, but what I did see with the experience is that there was a lot of time wasting. You don't know if you're going to get a ride or not. Sometimes you have to call your friends who are non-affiliated with the Sober Rides program. So it just wasn't really efficient. It wasn't an efficient system, and I thought there could be a lot of improvements.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for it. I see the problem and I see this. So your solution is to provide a centralized system for people to find riders that will be there, right?
Correct. When I put in a ride,
Mhm.
when I request a ride, I have a driver and they're ready to pick me up. There's no canceling. There's no confusion, and there's much better timing.
Okay. And all right, awesome. So if we're to build a bridge where we're taking people away from pain towards pleasure, what pain are we taking them away from?
The pain would be just efficiency and time, just how fast someone can provide someone else's service. And that would be the bridge. We would be able to bring together, hey, I order a ride, come pick me up. And it's just a little bit more safer for students as well, just so they have an idea of who's getting them and what company that they're representing.
Okay. So building trust is also yeah, because if I understand, one of our customers would be people that are intoxicated. So they're not really necessarily in the right state of mind.
I don't really like to say intoxicated, but I do really like to say it's young people who are just going out to enjoy themselves, whether they can be playing board games on someone's house off campus, or they could be going to a party that doesn't necessarily have to include alcohol. But it's really just transportation that we know it's hard to have a car nowadays. So it's really just being able to provide safe transportation.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I wasn't sure. So I gotta ask them, what would be our ideal clients?
Ideal clients would be around students from around, I would say, 18 to 25. Just younger students who ideally don't have a car, but they do maybe have friends off campus, or maybe there's a group event, or maybe there's even a closed venue. Um, Specifically in the demographic at Stores, Connecticut, it wasn't really near a major city or somewhere where there would be a lot of Uber or Lyft riders. So, and if there was a ride due to demand, the price would be way more expensive.
Okay, that makes sense. I understand. So we would be so students in rural kind of university settings would be our target.
Correct.
Okay, good. And for the $3 to $5, that is very inexpensive, which is great for our riders. What about for drivers? What is their like? How do they feel? How do you think they'll feel about the $3 to $5? Because you said it exists already, right?
Right. And drivers, they would take most of the profit. And due to like if we were looking at it currently due to inflation and gas prices and stuff like that, it would go up a little bit more. But obviously, the drivers would be taking still majority of profit. Um, and we would only just be taking a little bit for the application fees.
So we'll essentially be like a credit card processing fee.
Correct.
Okay. Uh, so one of my question is like how do we reach out to those potential customers, like to the drivers and to the riders?
The first part is to first, which I think is also the most important, especially in a college setting, word of mouth.
Okay.
Um, but the first thing you want to get the drivers on board. You want them to you want to mitigate that connection between them posting on the Yukon Buy and Sell Facebook page, and you want them to come to you and get enough people to come to you. And then once the driver supply is there, then we can get user demand on the rider side, and that'll just be the best way to go about it. And I believe word of mouth is the best way. Flyers can only do so much. Postings can only do so much. But if people understand that you have a quality product, they'll be willing to use it. It just takes one download.
Good. That's good. So I have so you're saying focusing on the driver first to build that side of the market first.
Correct, because just with basic supply and demand, you need to have the supply. We need to create that supply, which can therefore create the demand after.
Okay. And like on a college campus, how do you feel about potentially having a conversation with the management of the school? So like the deans or student, well, those people that take care of the school, that manage the school. Do you think they'll be a good people to speak to?
Actually, no, I disagree because I
Mm,
understand that most universities, most colleges, it's really a hierarchy, especially state schools. All the state Connecticut schools all run under the same hierarchy. They have specific rules, and if they're not getting a cut of what's being made, they'll have an issue with it. So ideally, I would be an independent contractor, and I wouldn't be based on campus.
mm. And have you seen other like businesses that do something similar?
Unfortunately, no, I haven't seen anything that does something similar.
Okay. And do you let's say let's say a couple $1 million in revenue. That's when people are talking about it like, oh, this is a company. And Uber is to be like, okay, let's take that market. Do you think they'll be able to take that market?
No, just because we're talking about the demographic of drivers and riders. So a lot of people do work Uber more than just a part-time. They work at mostly at a full-time basis. And for us, we're really just making the system safe, not and we're not looking to necessarily make it extremely profitable. We're just looking to help out the user and rider to be able to get a safe ride and convenience. So with Uber, they tend to have a lot of things where they take the fees. You can be out of state and you can still work for sober rides. So there's a lot of things with Uber that can go into depth with that they just don't benefit especially they don't benefit the driver, and they'll take a huge pay cut out of it. For example, it'd be taking 40% out of $3 to $5 per ride, which who would really want to use that as a driver? That therefore creates less supply.
Okay, I like that. So, would you say then our clients or customers would be drivers and not riders?
It would be both, but it would ideally be drivers, and the demographic of driver would be around 18 to 24 as well, where it's, hey, I can work a little bit on the part-time, I can make some money, but I don't need to do this on a full-time basis because we won't even be operating on a full-time basis.
Okay. And so since the price right now, it's not even in the second two-digit price range, would the drivers be charging per head or per travel per route?
We still have to think about that. To be completely honest, I really couldn't tell you. Still a decision that we're thinking about at the moment.
Okay. Can I give my opinion on that? To be more attractive to drivers, I do think allow them to charge per head would bring them, because now we're bringing them multiple customers at one time, and so they're more efficient with their time. While the riders are still getting a good deal, they're still only paying like $5 for.
Correct. But if there's 4 riders, now you're paying a $20 ride. And it's essentially the same thing as ordering Uber. The only thing is that you're not paying a cumulative lump sum at one time. So we would really have to go into the human psychology of whether what's easier, paying a lump sum or paying different dividends to the driver. So it really just depends on how the person feels when they hit that pay button compared to Uber.
Yeah. So okay, so then the service would be ideal at 1 to 2 to maybe 3, and after 4, then they might prefer Uber.
They might prefer after 3. I mean, I know at Western Connecticut State University, when I have to go to the bar, this is a little bit of a bigger city in Danbury, Connecticut, but it costs $8. I can bring as many people as I want with me, technically. I could bring up to 3. Through with COVID guidelines, but now since there's no more COVID protocol, I can bring 4 people. So for $8, so that's $2 a ride, or maybe $2.10 a ride around there. So that can be an issue.
Okay, that, yeah, you bringing that up means either that the business wouldn't work, or that just wouldn't be an avenue that we service.
It would be only viable, and it would be more viable in certain demographics. That's what I was saying.
Okay. So then, like, niching down to universities, like you were saying before, like University of Connecticut, like universities just like it would be like our market essentially, right?
Correct.
Okay. University of Connecticut. Billion funnel. So I've been learning about funnels. Do you know what a funnel is?
I have an idea.
So for those who don't know what a funnel is, Russell Brunson, he is the CEO of ClickFunnels. He's the reason why he's been educating me a lot on it. So a funnel is a way for you to acquire traffic and converting these traffic into paying customers. So you bring and you create offers around these things. So let's say for this, we have this software. We would have to create some kind of offer for that. So essentially the riders, what else would they need besides a ride to and from point A to point B?
For me, I wouldn't think that they would need anything at the moment other than just demand, because the demand was there in the Yukon Buy and Sell Facebook page, enough to the point where you couldn't even find rides and the riders were always booked.
Mhm.
So I really don't think this is something that you need to offer. I mean, it's something fundamental and it's basic like transportation,
Yeah.
where someone will always need to use that product.
Okay. So our main product then will be transportation. We're providing
Correct.
transportation. Okay.
Affordable transportation.
So affordable transportation. So then within that offer, then we'll be including payment processing, right? Because not everyone carries cash. Because I'm assuming you can buy or sell.
Correct.
Okay. So they'll have digital transactions. What else could we? Because we have to add value, so we can. This because our main offer is really good. We do have to add value so that they can't say no, right? They're like, oh, this is great, and you do this too. You do all these other things along with that. So right now we have two. Like, what else do you think?
The only value is being able to designate someone. You know that somebody's coming and you know with what time they're coming. Just having the safety and the confidence that my ride will be here then. I got a ride, so it's coming now. That's what's really important. Just being able to be counted on, by your user.
Okay. I think you answered the funnel question. So we have our, like you were saying, our main offer is inexpensive transportation, and then we have safety. You're saying we have uh, designated in planning, so that they can actually set up and know that they're going to be there. And these are trust, because these are people that go to university. It's not strangers coming in at like from elsewhere. Okay, awesome. So that's a funnel. That's an awesome funnel. And marketing. Oh, actually, I was really interested in hardware, like adding hardware to the business. Have you thought about that?
I haven't thought about that yet. I don't know if it's really useful, because everything should just be connected to a server.
Mhm.
I don't know if hardware is really needed at the moment.
Like when I say hardware, I meant like a breathalyzer, like module that you put into your phone.
For the rider
Yeah, for
and
the
the
driver, for the
driver.
drivers. Yeah.
No, I haven't thought about that yet. In the terms and conditions, that will take care of everything, where there should be no conflict of interest or any drivers breaking the law while they're servicing someone else.
Okay.
So that would just take away all personal liability from our company.
Okay. So we'll be basing on trust that we build between ourselves and the drivers.
In
And
the agreement, if you adhere and you sign our terms and conditions, you have to follow certain rules, or you're liable, and you will not be using the Silver Ride app anymore.
Okay. Uh, so since I got some clarity about kind of like the people we'll be serving, how do you feel about the name sober rides? Because that has some connotation to it.
I love it. I think that in this society today, there's almost a negative stigma towards the word sober.
Mm,
Everyone, sober can be associated with boring, old, lack of creativity, things like that. But it's beautiful because it really has that intrinsic value where, as a driver, I'm giving someone a sober ride, and as a rider, hey, someone sober is picking me up. Just gives that little bit extra more trust.
I like that. I like the framing and like what it means to you. And I like the name. I really like the name now. I thought it was a catchy name. Now I really like it. There's there's something behind the brand. And so what questions I'll be surveying students at the University of Concordia. They're not they're not really our ideal clients. They are college students. They are in a very, very urban university. Like they have a metro right on like in their building. So just as context, what kind of questions do you think would be required to ask to figure out if there's a demand there?
Well, I would first start off with a survey with three pictures: a picture of a middle-aged person, a picture of, let's say, an older person, and a picture of, let's say, a student,
Hmm.
or maybe like just an anonymous profile picture of a student, and just who would you rather have picking up? Who would you rather have being picked up by? Um, and have them choose those three. I think that's extremely important. And just ask them, what do they think about their fellow colleagues? And why is college so important to them? And why is that environment so important to them? And if they decide to enter in a positive manner, then I would say, would you be able, would you want to be part of something where you can help your fellow colleagues do something? Hey, maybe this guy has $1,000 left in his tuition bill. He can't register for classes. That will help him register for classes. Maybe this guy needs gas. That will help him with gas. Maybe this guy does Uber, but Uber isn't doing that well right now and he needs help paying with the lease for his car. That will help them. Maybe someone needs to send some money to their home back in Haiti. That will help them do that. And it's a really efficient way. And we know that when people are in college, they really do like to go out and enjoy and explore and do different things. And it would just be really great to be able to funnel that back, to funnel that money back, not to the university, not to some random program, not to Uber, just a public corporate entity, but right back to the college student where we're looking to only take a minimal percentage based on what we need necessary to continue to run the app. It's really just to keep the economy going inside of the college or university.
Okay. I love that. Like the vision of putting back the money where like back to where it's being spent in transactioning and stuff like that. Okay, that's really that's very attractive. Like as both the driver and the rider, you're like, wow, my money's going back to help people like
Right.
me. Oh, cool. And like I gotta ask, because with startup ideas, we have big visions, like big monetary. That's one of their things. It's because we want to help a lot of people, so that leads to a lot of money. Like, what is your kind of like vision, big like vision for this product?
My vision, honestly, my vision would be to just expand it within the whole Connecticut and the Northeast into universities where transportation doesn't come easy. There's not a lot of Uber drivers, not a lot of Lyft drivers. And we just get a way where people can just have fun, do whatever they need to do, but really in a low stress environment. And they're helping people in their community, which will be the university. That's really my goal. It's not necessarily monetary or
Mhm.
something like that. If everyone believes it's a quality product, the financials will show after that. But I really rather just create a service where it's just accessible for students to have fun in a safe environment and help students.
Glad that was a great answer. I love it. What would be required for you to validate the idea and be like, okay, this is worth like
I
this is
would,
worthwhile investing?
I would need one university to become so dependent on that I'm getting emails from the university board. I need someone to be a little bit pissed off about what's going on, and then I know that I'm doing something right.
I like that. Just stop. And huh. Okay, that's what's the word? Oh, I forget the word. Like when you change something and then people are do you know what that is called when you change something? Like the status
No,
quo.
yeah, I mean, I don't know like what the actual verbiage is, but I know when you have haters, that means you're doing something right. That's all I know.
That is true. That is true. That is true. And yeah, I think that answered most of our questions for this for this startup idea. Do you have anything else, any like gems that you like to share with us?
Not really. I would just say, shout out to all my Haitian people out there. Keep grinding. As a fellow Haitian, we are the warriors. So just continue to grind, continue to strive. And if I was to give any advice to the people living out there, don't take anything personal. Focus on your goals. Keep grinding. Please, 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 please take priority in your health. Go to the gym. Be fit. That's extremely important to have a clear of mind. And make sure to help people, make sure to also be a leader. And being a leader means that other people comes first and you always lead yourself. So that's what I would say to the people, and continue to be strong.
Wow. I love it. And where can people find you? Like social
Um,
media, things of that
you can
nature?
find me, ideally, I would like, if you want to find me on LinkedIn, Daniel Vincent. I attend Western Connecticut State University. Um, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. Sauce God Dan. Don't take too much heed into the name. It was my PlayStation name, and I really liked it, so I decided to go with it. So Sauce God Dan, GODDAN. The first letters, the first word Sauce. You can find me there. I like business. I love technology. I like analyzing systems. And if you ever want to send me a message or reach out to me, feel free.
There you guys got it. Make sure to connect with Dan and message him on LinkedIn or IG for just to see Sauce God. Thank you so much for accepting this and giving value to the community. Thank you so much, bro.
No problem, man. Have a great one.
All right, you too.